This is for all you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits. If you don't do your job, I'll kill you myself. Welcome to the Roughnecks.
That's awesome. Welcome back to the Science Fiction Film Podcast, and thank you to good friend of the show, Adam, for giving us this week's introduction into Mr. Verhoeven's Starship Troopers. I'm fired up to be talking about this.
I bet you are.
Crazy science fiction tale. Crazy. With me, as usual, is Jessica Vizina. How the hell are you doing?
I'm doing all right. So I'm not as excited and crazy as you are right now.
I am on fire in fuego.
Yeah, to stick with the Mexican cultural theme of this movie.
Latin. Let's be nice.
Sorry.
We don't know. We don't want to make any claims. Miss everyone that speaks Spanish is Mexican. You better check your privilege, son. All right.
Wow.
So a couple things. Let's get into this, but some housekeeping first. If you're just joining us for the first time, we're going to be covering the film Starship Troopers. You probably know that because you saw the title of the episode, and you're like, what are these guys all about? Well, here's what we're about. We talk about science fiction films, good or bad. We have some fun with it. We're not overly critical assholes, although that might change in this episode, but we will have fun. That I can assure you. We're not going to be stuffy and boring and put you to sleep. So thank you if this is your first time, and thank you for everyone who has returned to the show. We're going to do some production notes, talk about the film, wrap things up, and that'll be the end of it. But before that, we should do some housekeeping. Housekeeping, you home? So that's what we're going to do first. So, number one, I want to first say I have a big shout out to great friends of the show, the Hey, Do You Remember podcasts.
Love those guys and gal.
Gracious enough to ask me to be on their show. Hey, Do You Remember takes a look at some of the older films from the ones that they grew up with. They take off the rose-tinted glasses and see if it holds up over scrutiny over time. And they asked me to be with them for their Rocketeer episode, which will debut on November 28th on Friday. I'm very much looking forward to that. Now,
me too.
I'm urging all of my listeners to check out the Hey Do You Remember podcasts. Help those guys out. Like their Facebook page. Get involved. I'm going to give you some links to make it easier for you and give them some downloads. Help them out. And they're so cool. I love those guys. I listen to a lot of film podcasts. A lot of them I don't like. And I like Hey Do You Remember for the same exact reasons I don't like some of the other ones.
I don't even listen to a lot of film podcasts. That's pretty much the only film podcast I listen to.
They're awesome.
And I love it.
So Chris, Donna, Carlos, thank you very much. We are I was very happy to be on your show.
I was in the other room, like, tell them I said hi.
Yeah, being a fangirl in the other room. So thanks again, guys. I look forward to future collaborations with you, and that's that. So next, the next film that will follow after this film will be Independence Day. We're going to get back to our Goldblum roots, and then in December, we're going to be having a bit of a secretive lineup. The only movie that you know is coming out in December, if you've been listening to the show consistently, is The Fifth Element. There's going to be a few other movies that come out in December, of which you're not going to know until we air the Independence Day episode. So we're keeping it under tight wraps. Secret.
Very
it's
secret.
A big secret because they're going to be a lot of fun to cover. Next, consider shopping on Amazon through the affiliate link that we have posted on our homepage at libertystreetgeek.net. We would really that would really help us out.
It's right at the top of the page, nice and easy.
Yes, there's also going to be other ways to support the show soon. So we're going to do like a lot of other podcasts and just like beg you for money and stuff. But that's coming on down the line. And I will make this promise now. Don't you guys worry. If some of you listen to a lot of podcasts, we will never have a paywall. We will always have free content if you decide to support or not. You'll be able to get the same exact audio content that if you don't support, that's fine too. I'm not gonna punish people that have supported me thus far by sharing and liking and talking about me and introducing new people to the show. But if you want to commit to us financially, there's going to be some options coming to you. So keep your eyes out on libertystreetgeek.net for that. And what else do we have for our bookkeeping? Oh, if you want to reach out to the show, There's a few ways to do it, but one way that I'm starting to encourage more people to do, as our good friend of the show, Adam, did at the beginning of the episode, is you can call us at 508-938-9168 and leave us a voicemail. You can text that number. If you're outside of the U.S. or you're concerned about long distance, I don't even know how that works anymore, you can use SpeakPipe, which is right on the website. You just click it and start recording. If you're on your phone, it's super easy because it uses your phone's recorder. And you can say hi or what have you. And feel free to just say hi, where you're from, and that you love or hate the show. And then you can tell us to go fuck ourselves. We don't care. But
we'll play it.
Yeah, we will. We would love to hear from you. So
even if you tell us to go fuck ourselves,
yes,
we'll play that shit too.
Yes. Do we have, and then we'll make fun of you. No, I'm just kidding. Do we have any other housekeeping notes that we need to get on top of before we blast off into outer space?
I don't think so.
Okay, so let's get ready to talk about the 1997 Starship Troopers. I do have one more piece of housekeeping.
Oh my God.
My final piece of housekeeping is this. We are going to routinely be interrupted by the Federal Communications Network.
Oh no!
Because they often will have important messages for us as we go through this film. So keep your ears open for those very important messages from our federal overlords.
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent. So we're going to start our production notes, and in classic fashion, as we're starting to do, we're going to talk about some of our Facebook comments and participation through other means in the production notes segment. So why don't we get cracking? Okay. The first thing I want to do is talk about some of the comments because they might be relevant to the film. So the first thing I want to do is I want to say the first comment I'm going to talk about is by a man who also runs a science fiction podcast.
Wow.
Yes, it's called the it's called the Sci-Fi Movie Podcast.
I'll have to check that shit out.
If you look up science fiction movies, you're gonna find both of us. They are I want to say they're in Canada, I'm pretty certain, because I know Rem is.
So they're kinder than us, is what you're trying to say.
Way kinder and way less offensive.
Way more polite. Great.
Way more professional.
I'm going to look them up.
Absolutely. Yeah. So they cover some films too. So if you want to give those guys a look, do so. I happen to reach out to the I don't know if he's the main host, but he seems to be the guy who does a lot of the stuff for them. But his name is Rem, and I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to try Levitois because it's like French.
Hey.
You know, it's pretty fancy. But Rem decided to chime in, and I want to say what he said. Starship Troopers is a great satire of the old wartime recruiting movies. Plenty of fascist references and dig the Nazi uniforms.
Yes.
There's a lot of smart stuff going on here, and if a person doesn't realize the satirical nature of the movie, they've missed the point. Also, watch the first Starship Troopers and stop there. The sequels aren't worth it. Yes, that is
Aren't
very
they like
true.
straight to DVD?
They're a nightmare. I can't even get into it.
Good Lord.
But thank you, Rem, for participating. Next, we have a good friend of the show, John Monas. He said, and very simply, the only good bug is a dead bug.
Oh, that's the quote of the episode on the board.
Yes.
That's a new thing I made up, that there's a quote of the episode now.
Yes. Terry Mitchell chimed in and said, the best anti-fascist movie, sci-fi movie. Jesse and Michelle Privet, the movie blew my mind as a kid. I loved every minute of it, especially co-ed showers. All right.
I'll bet you did.
Do you want to live forever? That's a good one. Good friend of the show, Scott. If it isn't satire, well, I need to gouge my eyes out with a spoon.
That's how I felt.
And then, of course, Adam, who you heard at the beginning of the show, my favorite bad movie of all time. There are moments of brilliance surrounded by acting so poor it's comical.
Yes.
And also Doogie fucking Howser.
Yeah, that was pretty much the most exciting moment of my life when he stepped onto the screen.
And then he hashtagged Roughnecks for Life.
Oh my God, I wish, can we start that hashtag? Do you think anyone on Twitter will get on board?
It could be possible, but we have to decide, right? We have to have a quick battle. Which ones are we going to go for? Ready?
Ratcats Roughnecks! Rico's Roughnecks! Ratcats Roughnecks! Rico's Roughnecks!
I don't know. You choose.
I'm pretty sure that Rico's Roughneck sounds pretty stupid.
It does. Ratchet sounds so much more badass, doesn't it? All right. I admittedly because I was writing paragraph upon paragraph upon paragraph while watching this movie, which I don't typically do, I was just so inspired by it all.
He was also laughing like a loon.
I was laughing like Robert De Niro was in the film Cape Fear.
Like, for real.
It was so great. I was doing that.
I was scared,
so funny.
actually.
All right, so I think Jessica's going to handle most of the behind-the-scenes stuff this time around. And take it away.
All right. Well, obviously this is based on a book, but not really based on a book. And that's what I learned upon researching and trying to find out the difference. And it's basically everything except for the names of the characters. Dizzy's a man, for one. Juan Rico is a rich Filipino person, which is a little different than a rando white guy. Anyways, just saying.
Yeah, wait a second. Yeah, all these names. Can I interrupt you for a minute?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Johnny Rico. Okay, here's the last names. Rico Ibanez and Flores. Flores! What's going on with all the white folks playing them? Couldn't they get some nice brown people to do it?
This sounds like it should be a Hispanic cast. Like,
it's pretty ridiculous.
Pretty much solely. But instead it's just a bunch of white people.
I don't know. Casper Van Dien with a name like that and a look like that looks pretty Latin to me.
Yeah, Latin my ass.
No. Wow. Latin my ass.
So anyways, the original book, like a lot of people say that it actually promotes militarism and fascism and military rule, like that it's for that. Whereas the film, obviously, it's very satirical. Good God, I hope.
Oh, it's like totally anti-jingoistic type of language, and it's just brilliant.
Yeah, the first scene of the film, that advertisement, is almost like a shot-for-shot adaptation of The Triumph of Will from, like, you know, those times. And there's all kinds of Nazi references.
We just got tapped on the shoulder. Give us just 1 minute here.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
I'm so scared.
Young people from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
They're doing their part. Are you? Join the mobile infantry and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship.
America! Fuck yeah! Oh, sorry. Okay,
That's
I'm sorry.
the wrong movie.
Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Continue. I told you once in a while.
Sorry, if they've got to do what they got to do, they're in charge. They're wearing Nazi uniforms.
If not, we're going to get whipped by guys in Nazi coats.
So when this movie was being made, they didn't even option the book until pre-production had already started. The film already had a script. It already had a working title, which was Bug Hunt at Outpost 9.
Oh, that's awesome.
And a lot of the writing team was unaware of the novel until they really, really had it. Like, they're like, hey, no, it's Starship Troopers now. It's this novel. And like the writers were just writing and they're like, oh, what? Like, I'm so confused. What are you talking about? The director, Paul Verhoeven.
He's awesome, by the way.
He says that he never finished reading the novel because he became too bored and depressed.
Are you kidding?
No, that's a true story.
I like him even more.
Yeah, so that's
Total Recall, baby, and RoboCop, right?
Yeah, I have some notes about that stuff too. Do you want me to tell you some of that stuff?
Please do.
Okay, so Paul Verhoeven, I don't know.
I don't know why we're saying it that way. It's probably not even right.
There are a lot of callbacks to other movies. One of the big ones is Zulu, which I've never seen. It's some 1964 flick.
I haven't either.
But the fort defense scenes have a lot of references to it. The quotes, we're all going to die, fire at will, fall back into the compound. And some of the camera angles are like almost like shot for shot from that movie, apparently.
Oh, wow.
A lot of the walls they used were actually reused from Total Recall.
Nice.
So they reused some props. The line, you want to live forever, was also said in RoboCop. RoboCop by the character Emil.
Huh. Do you know what else? Do you want to hear something crazy?
Sure.
It was also said in Conan the Barbarian by the female character Valeria all the time. She's like, do you want to live forever? And then she'd do crazy shit.
And then did she like burst into song? Because it sounds like she
No, she burst into twirling death with her sword. She was a badass.
Okay. What else do I have to say about these people?
Whatever you'd like.
Oh, there was Michael Ironsides. He was also in Total Recall.
I think it's just Ironside, not Ironsides. Old Ironsides.
Because I was looking at it says Michael Ironside's character, which is what I was reading. So Michael Ironside had both of his legs bitten off in this movie, if you recall. Spoiler alert.
He also lost
in Total Recall.
Arm.
He lost both of his arms.
And what did
fist bump?
And what did Arnold say to him? See you at the party, Richter.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say, Hasta la vista, baby.
No.
Or dickwad, something like that.
No, that's not till the 90s.
Oh, okay. Do you have any production notes you want to add? I have a bunch I can go through.
Just keep on rocking.
Okay. Some differences in the movies, deleted scenes, things like that. They wanted to avoid an NC-17 rating, and to do so, they had to take 4 seconds off a scene of decapitation during the last battle. But if you watch the made-for-TV, like FX version, you can see those 4 seconds they cut out so that it wouldn't be NC-17 when they released it, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. They had to take 4 seconds off a decapitation scene, so they weren't rated NC-17.
That's 4 full seconds of decapitation. Yes. That's the part I'm interested in.
Exactly. And there are some deleted scenes on the DVD. Most of the scenes involve how, one, that Carmen banged both Rico and Xander.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
they wanted to make that clear in these deleted scenes in case you were confused about who she was banging.
I'm pretty sure when she said, what did she say? My father's not home tonight. And I don't know why I'm talking like she's Maggie.
I don't know why you are either.
Keep going.
And there's an alternate ending where at the end, like Rico and Carmen like kiss and they're back together, which makes me actually vomit, like literally just everywhere. It's disgusting to me. So
please don't.
I'll try not to. What else do I have? Oh, the producer has a cameo in the movie. He's the guy who says the only good bug is a dead bug.
Awesome.
John Davison. He's the owner of the dog that got killed that says that line.
Oh, yes.
So that's awesome. And here are my best production notes of the whole thing, which is who was considered and turned down the role of Johnny Rico.
Sweet Jesus.
One was James Marsden, who I know you're not really a fan of. I think he's very handsome, though. And I could certainly see him playing Johnny Rico.
Well, since they went for the white bread version of Johnny Rico, he would be the perfect example of that.
So he was considered for the role, and there was one person who turned down this role.
Please tell me.
And do you want to know who it is? This, I swear I cannot make this shit up.
Don't even tell me.
Mark Wahlberg.
That's the best news of all time.
When I read this, I'm like, this podcast just got a million times better.
Oh my God.
I can't make this shit up. I found that on IMDb and I was just like, oh my.
Hey, what's going on, Bugs? I'm about to go shoot a bug. What are you going to do today, huh? You going to climb that wall?
Oh my God. Okay, I have one more note. Sorry, I don't know if this can top Mark Wahlberg, but it's the closest thing that can. The director, Paul Verhoeven, and the cinematographer, whose name is Jost Vacano, they did that co-ed shower scene in one take.
Awesome.
And when they did
that was a nice scene,
they,
soapy flesh.
They shot that scene in the nudes themselves. So they were both naked when they shot the scene because Dina Meyer, who plays Dizzy, dared them to shoot the scene.
Another
in the nude
reason to love Dina Meyer.
Yeah.
Another reason. She's so much better than Denise Richards.
Seriously. So she got the director and the cinematographer to get naked to shoot the scene.
That is brilliant.
It's pretty much amazing.
That is brilliant.
It makes me love the director because he did it.
Yeah, well, one of the reasons I didn't want to do it because I had, they didn't want to pay me extra for me to show off my abs,
Oh, yeah, we know.
Yeah, so I said, I got to turn that roll down, even though it looks pretty awesome. Shooting bugs with huge guns, but couldn't come to terms on the money. I can't believe it literally is Mark Wahlberg.
I can't believe that he turned it down. Imagine how different our lives would be if he hadn't.
Imagine him arguing with his parents.
I don't want to go to the beach. I want to join the military, Dad.
Some jacked former hip hop star
underwear model
arguing with those fucking weirdos of a family the guy has in their huge, beautiful house.
He storms to his room and slams the door.
I'm not going upstairs, Dad. I ain't going upstairs. I'm gonna go to the army. I swear to God, Ma.
I want to be like fucking firefighters, but it's not even him. It's Matt Damon.
Exactly. I don't want to go on your stupid vacation, Ma. This is so gay. Starts punching himself in the chest like fear.
Oh my God.
That's fucking great.
I'm like
Do you know how
sweating now.
happy I am right now?
Can you believe that though? Like, what are the odds? This is beautiful. The only thing that would have been better is if it talked about how like Casper Van Dien and Denise Richards also banged and became a real couple in real life.
That's reserved for the
Jeff
great
Goldblum.
For the great Jeff Goldblum.
Who now I feel like I have a crush on, and it's like really weird.
Are you an ape?
No, he just married some wicked hot chick.
Yes. Surprise, surprise.
Well,
He started talking to her about chaos theory in a Jeep, and the rest is history.
yeah. Oh my god! All right, that's it for my production notes. What do you got going on?
Production notes? I don't. I told you.
I thought you were
told
gonna
you.
like look at how much money the film made.
No, I don't care about
my
that.
God,
It
you-
made some money. It was $100 million budget, made like 120.
It was $100 million.
Yes, it's crazy money. But I don't really
I also read that most of those bugs were CGI, but a couple of them were like actual like robots. And then also like when there was no bug and it was going to be the CGI, the director would stand out there and like jump around and like yell things at them,
I
so they had
saw- I
something
watched
to
it.
react to.
I
Oh, you
watched
did?
it.
I didn't
Yeah.
get to see it. It must have been awesome.
Yep, I did watch the behind the scenes stuff, so I will say that. And he was doing like, you know, when you put one hand, like if you reach your hand straight up in the air and then you reach your other arm straight out in front of you and you make like a chomping motion like the fucking Florida Gators, right?
Yeah, like the Gators.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you do like the Florida Gators, that's what he was doing, and he's going, you're scared here, running around like a crazy person.
I don't even know this guy, but I like love him now.
Yeah.
This director.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He got naked. He made Florida Gator hand motions just for fun.
To scare Denise Richards.
He wanted Marky Mark to be in his movie. Like
He was like, afterwards in the trailer, he's like, if only I could coax a performance out of this rigid bitch. He's like, what if I bring actual crocodiles on the set? Would that scare her? Would that provoke something out of this woman?
maybe he thought his nudity would like help, but like then she wasn't even in the scene because
Yeah.
you're not gonna show Denise Richards' tits unless it's in a sex tape.
Not to
with.
mention, he's old enough to be her fucking granddad. I don't know if she'd be into his
I don't know
junk.
how old Verhoeven is. I don't know anything about him except that I love him and I like to say his name like it's German.
It's not German.
Well, that's how I want to say it.
Okay.
Verhoeven.
In fact, now that you've said that, now we have to know, right? We have to know Paul Verhoeven. So I'm going to type in over here, Paul Verhoeven. We're
Can
gonna
you show me his
pull him up.
picture? I'd like to see if he's. Oh,
Yeah,
look at him. He's a handsome older gentleman.
Paul Verhoeven.
Wish this was like a video cast.
He's 76. He's a Dutch.
He's a Dutch. If
he's
you're
a-
wondering, he's
he's a
a Dutch.
Holland or what have you.
He's a Dutch Hollander.
Yeah.
Write that one down, kids.
So there
He's
he
not
is.
German.
No, he's not German. In fact, one of the interesting
He hates
things,
Germans because he has Nazi uniforms all over this movie.
basically,
Yeah.
It says here in 1943, his family moved to the I don't know how to pronounce this, the location of the German headquarters in the Netherlands during World War II. The Verhoeven house was near a German military base, which was repeatedly bombed by Allied forces. Their neighbor's house was hit, and Verhoeven's parents were almost killed when bombs fell on a street crossing. From this period, Verhoeven mentioned in interviews he remembers images of violence, burning houses, dead bodies on the street, and continuous danger. But he later goes on to talk about one of the things I heard, and I'm not going to read his whole Wikipedia article,
We could, though.
is that that's why there's so much satirical stuff in this over war, is because
And so much
he
of it is
had
like
to
Nazi Germany.
because he had to experience it. But it's less about Nazi Germany and more about, I think, the jingoistic nature of like imperialistic nations.
Yeah, but I'm just
Yes,
saying they
Germany
use,
once
like,
upon a
you
time-
can see the outfits they
Oh,
use, and the
absolutely.
symbol even looks like the German symbol.
Just like Rem was saying.
Yeah.
It is. It absolutely is. It's very obvious. But I almost think he's saying, be careful, be careful, America, with your, just be careful.
Yeah.
And that's obviously what's
Isn't
going
that
on
like
here.
what every like war movie is saying to us deep
I
down?
think every war movie is saying that to every potentially warlike civilization, which is basically just about all of them, right?
Valid point. Except Canada. They're just happy and kind.
That's a goddamn fact.
Love
That's a
that
goddamn
place.
fact. So let's see. Are we good? That was
Yeah,
great.
I think so.
Yeah, you handled that well. Very nice.
Thanks. I have to make up for the times that I fail
Oh,
at things.
hold on. Being tapped on the shoulder. Sorry, guys. We have to break for this.
Plandathu, source of the bug meteor attacks, orbits a twin star system whose brutal gravitational forces produce an unlimited supply of bug meteorites in the form of this asteroid belt. To ensure the safety of our solar system, Plandathu must be eliminated.
Oh boy. I said war. Huh. All right. Let's talk about Starship Troopers before we get too crazy.
All right, do you want to do your stuff first?
My stuff first.
And by that, I mean...
Yeah, you want to do the
trivia.
Contest? All right, cool. So
Then we don't have to be interrupted when you're like laughing like Robert De Niro about bugs.
all right. Yeah, that's a good point. So here's what I should do. First of all, I've gone back and listened to the trivia segments, and it occurred to me if it was your first time listening to them, you wouldn't understand what the fuck is going on. So we have a trivia thing that we've been running for the month of November. Each episode, we put sound clips in from prior podcasts. If you guess what those podcasts are and you email them to me at lsgpodcast@gmail.com, we give you some points. The person with the most points at the end wins.
That's not how it goes. No,
It's
everything's going to go in a hat.
Yeah, it's going to go in a tag.
So the person with the most points doesn't win. Person with the most points, you know who you are.
Has a higher chance of winning. Yes, I'm sorry.
But that person does have a higher chance of winning.
So when we do these segments, and I think last time I said we're not giving the answers because obviously we don't want to give the answers away until the end. And at the end, what we'll do is we'll play all of the segments. So if you've missed some and you still want a chance at it, on the last episode, which is going to be Independence Day, we're going to play every one of them back to back to back. And then you'll have a couple of days to send that to us before we announce the winner in December.
Maybe we should announce the 1st December podcast.
Yeah, we'll announce the winner of the 1st December podcast.
We'll do like an announcement on Facebook too, explaining this.
Absolutely.
So that
you will
nobody's
write.
confused. Oh, okay. I will write an announcement on Facebook, so you'll know. You'll be like, "Wow, this person is amazing that wrote this announcement."
And I've been getting some answers. I've been getting a lot of right ones. I've been getting a few wrong ones, and it's a lot of fun. So.
Sometimes I don't know the answers.
And what is the prize? It's a Kindle Fire. Nothing too fancy. Not brand new. Come on.
I think it's HD though.
I don't think it is, but it's nice, and it's it's fucking
still
free.
nice.
All you do is listen to the show.
You can
get a
freaking
free
regift it to somebody you need to give a gift to if you don't want it. It's almost Christmas time.
Yeah, there you go.
So when you're shopping through the liverystreetgeek.net link to Amazon.com, you don't have to buy a Kindle there because you'll already have one that you got for free.
Oh, you're so clever.
I know.
Aren't you clever?
Let's do this shit.
All right, let's do it. So we're going to do the intro music, and then we're going to get right to the segment.
No. There's no foreplay with Michael Bean.
He's no
got
nonsense.
shit to do.
Meat and potatoes. Let's rock and roll. Here's the plan, right? Here's the layout.
We're gonna do a Skyfall. We're gonna rig up this whole place full of traps.
Yeah, man. We're gonna fucking reprogram Gertie to make him an assassin droid like IG-88. Okay, guys, let's rock and roll. We finally see their faces. I was
finally
wondering
get to see their faces.
they're gonna have little tickle demon faces.
Oh God!
Nope.
Don't let them tickle you.
All right. So the first two are kind of easy. The second one's a little. The third one's a little more challenging.
The first one, I sounded
sure.
like I was like a drunk slob. I must have been really excited about Michael Bean when I was saying that
P.S.
shit.
A huge hint. He's only been in a few of our movies.
Yeah.
All right. So, and as we always do, we have a mystery sound, which is worth 2 tickets. So here is the mystery sound. If you can't get this one, I can't really help you. It's pretty easy, but it's going to be quick. It's going to be brief. And again, what podcasts is this from? That's it. So
That's
there you
awesome.
go.
I like that sound. That's my favorite of all the sounds so far.
All right. So there you go. Send your answers to lsgpodcast@gmail.com and we will see how you do. All right. Now, why don't we get to this? The first thing I want to say about Starship Troopers is this movie does not apologize for anything. It's not, and it has no problems. It doesn't really have an identity crisis, I don't think. And if you go and you look at the critics' reviews of it, a lot of what they say is that it's just so preposterous that it's unwatchable. But advocates of the film talk about how it's so obviously satirical that you have to watch it with that in mind and know exactly what's going on, which is at times why I laughed like Robert De Niro in the movie theater in Cape Fear, because I was just laughing at the middle fingers that the film is throwing up to the whole idea of this jingoistic sort of like warlike mentality that the film is saying is so ridiculous. And that's what I particularly love about it. And but that doesn't mean that the film does not have some serious things working against it. So there's a lot that they could have done a little bit differently to maybe make this film a little bit different. You know, it's this weird juxtaposition of these pretty people like in a 90210 and then
I
this
already got
like
notes about that.
pro-military, pro-war rhetoric from like the school. Like it's this wacky, like here's this weird ROTC on steroids times 10 plus imperialism mixed with these beautiful, pretty white people from fucking 90210 or whatever. And they decided to smash them together into one thing. And it's just so bizarre. When you watch the beginning of the movie, you're like, what the fuck? There's no way this is real. That's what you're thinking. What were you thinking when you started watching? By the way, this was great because you'd never seen this movie before, which is perfect. And this is what I can't look forward. I so look forward to what you have to say.
I was like so scared before we were going to watch this movie because there's such like a cry for it on Facebook and people are like, yeah, Starship Troopers. I'm like, oh God, I never would watch this movie ever if I didn't have to do it for a podcast. And it is the most ridiculous movie I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how else to describe it. I do see the charm, but it's also so ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Like, I don't even know. Like, it was just great. It was how I expected it to be.
You know what I was thinking?
Insane.
Like, it reminded like these first few moments of this film, I was thinking, did they set their military academy up in Beverly Hills? Like, what the fuck? Is that where they are?
Yeah. No, they're in Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires.
That's where they are. But they're all white. It's so weird.
It is weird.
It's like the white people took over down there.
What else is new? Fucking
white people.
We better be careful. We're going to get in trouble for this. Oh, hold on. Being tapped on the shoulder. Got some more news.
Shit.
A murderer was captured this morning and tried today.
Guilty.
Sentence, death. Execution tonight at 6. All net, all channels. Would you like to know more?
Ooh, wow. Oof.
The guy who gets hung or who's the murderer is also a cameo of somebody on the production team, but I can't remember who. Sorry.
Gotcha. Well, so this dress code at the school, can we talk about it as well?
I don't even remember what they were wearing. I was too busy.
Short skirts and tall boots. How do I get into this school?
Oh, the 1990s. Go back to the 90s, and then you'll go be in a lot of schools like that.
Oh, Jesus, I wish I could. If I knew now.
Oh, yeah. See, look.
That's what they always say. But so yeah, yuppie haircuts and short skirts and tall boots.
And they go to get their like grades and shit. They're he's in class door on that picture, which is so ridiculous. Oh my God.
And that's what I mean. Like the introduction of the Michael Ironside character where he's like, raw naked violence is the most awesome thing in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
And he talks about that and he was saying how it's like this changing force and that's what I'm saying. Like, I like imagine if this was like what's a film that we've done recently? What's the last film we did? Like V, right?
Yeah.
So V for Vendetta. Imagine if they showed a clip of like military indoctrination in V for Vendetta. It wouldn't be like all these pretty people like dicking around. It'd be like these shaved head fucking sitting there at attention, listening to this goddamn, yeah, we're gonna kick some ass, right? Instead, it's these fucking knuckleheads drawing pictures of each other kissing and blowing bubble gum like they're 12 years old.
It's pretty much ridiculous.
Except how old are they?
They're 35. I was like, why are these? I have a note that says these people are in ... high school? Question mark.
Yes, they never explicitly say that, but that's the impression that I get.
Well, they act like they're in high school, but then again, I mean, it's the worst acting I've ever seen in my life.
Well, they certainly are brainwashed. They certainly are brainwashed.
And then they go to another school, which I assume is like college, but they look approximately 35 to me.
Yes.
I have to guess how old they are.
Yes.
Which is, I guess, just like Beverly Hills 90210.
And as we move through the beginning of this film, how about Doogie, as Adam says, Doogie fucking Howser?
Oh, I love Neil Patrick Harris like so much.
So let's talk about it. He's going to be Doogie Howser in this movie. I'm sorry.
I'm going to call him NPH.
I will eject you from the premises forcibly if you
His
refer to him as a goddamn acronym.
Carl Jenkins.
I told you, there's only one acronym besides LSG Media, and that's T2.
Wow.
I don't think I'm going to win that fight. I'm definitely going to lose out to the acronym war, since I already called Independence Day ID4 on this podcast.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so
that's foolish.
Remember when ferrets were cool?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I have a note about the ferret.
Ferrets were cool in the 90s. Can I talk about it for a minute?
Okay.
My friend, and by the way, I didn't realize.
I know the story. That's a good one. Sorry.
I don't think you do. By the way, I don't think my friends made dolphin noises. My ferrets made dolphin noises. It's like running up the stairs. I'm like, does a ferret sound like
Attacking the mom.
I'm like, why does a ferret sound like Flipper of the Deep Blue Sea?
That's a good question.
I don't know why.
I don't know the answer.
But my friend had ferrets in the 90s.
Yeah, ferrets are. Some people still have ferrets. They're cool, but they smell really bad.
My friend Tim and a couple people like a couple other friends that I have down south will recall this. But he had a couple of ferrets. They were pretty awesome. They would run around and do cool shit. They would take jewelry from his mom's room and do all kinds of awesome stuff like that. But they never made dolphin noises. That never happened.
Yeah, I think they had an issue because originally in the script it was supposed to be a frog and not a ferret, and so they were confused.
A frog?
Yes.
That he was going to go delta. What was? This is horrible.
I'm telling you.
This is not real.
Serrano, Carl's pet, was originally scripted as being a frog.
And
when has IMDb ever steered me wrong?
This is preposterous. Wait a second. So what were they going to do? Was he going to pick the frog up and be like, blah, 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 blah? He
just used this as mine. He doesn't have to talk.
Doesn't he say, and then he says, I convinced him that there was something
Some bug on my mom so he could go eat her legs.
What's he going to tell the frog that's up there?
A fly. And so it won't eat her, but it'll shoot its tongue out and like touch her leg.
I just imagine the frog leaping up the stairs. We watch it hopping up the stairs. Meanwhile, now stick Marky Mark and the frog in it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's wicked awesome. You can control your frog's mind, guy. Who know that? Wow, look at him hopping up those stairs, guy. He's going upstairs. This is amazing, guy. Yeah, maybe he should have taken the role.
God.
They should have went with Wahlberg and the frog. That's a movie too.
That poor ferret loses its job. Sorry, little ferret. Hey, people love ferrets and still have them. And as you know, I love all animals, but ferrets smell and I don't want one.
Yeah.
Sorry, ferret lovers. But I still love the ferret because I love when they're animals in movies. And then by default, Doogie Howser is my favorite character because he had a pet ferret because that's how I do these things.
Oh, that's pretty.
And also because everybody else in the movie sucks.
Nobody's likable except Dizzy.
I have a couple of other people who are on like my maybe list, and it's just basically due to other roles they've played.
My favorite characters in this film are oh
my God.
People are gonna hate me. I kind of like Xander. And I like Ironside's character, Rychek. Or however you say it.
Rychek.
Huh?
Rychek.
Is that how it is?
I think so.
What do they say?
I don't know.
Rychek's Roughnecks!
Okay, Rychek's Roughnecks. All right, so can we get to this ridiculous fucking football game?
Yes.
Oh my God.
This is so much. The first 20 minutes of this movie is so bad.
It's so great. Come on. Come on.
Oh my God, I can't. Okay.
How much fun are we having as a result of the existence of this film?
I don't know. I just laughed so hard I cried about the frog.
So
And he's not even in the movie.
Hey, Doogie Howser, have you ever had frog legs? I hear they taste like chicken, guy. So look.
I don't think Marky Mark's ever had frog legs. Come on now.
I don't know what Marky Mark has had, but stop calling him Marky Mark. He hates that.
What am I supposed to call him?
And he's listening. So.
Mark, if you are listening, call me. Please.
All right. Now, listen, I live in Massachusetts. We live in Massachusetts. As a result, I'm a New England Patriots fan. So I think I might have to have a sit down with Bill Belichick and say, listen, you need to start teaching your receivers how to do flips and twirls.
Why don't they do gymnastics during football games?
I don't know why they don't. They could simply just flip over their guys who would run into each other like the Three Stooges, and then he could come away with the ball. Boom, touchdown, 6 points.
Also, let one hot chick on your football team.
Yeah.
That's also important.
Listen.
Who's pretty much better than the dudes.
Listen, I'm all about egalitarianism, okay? But can I just say something?
You don't want chicks on your football team?
No, I don't. I'm not saying that. But that
you
chick,
sexist pig. No,
she would have been fucking flattened when that guy ran into her. Come on.
She's strong.
Yeah, okay. She's also $1.15 max. I don't give a fuck how strong she is. She was $1.15. She's gonna get flattened.
She's wearing like pads and stuff.
Nobody tackles in this. They just smash each other with shoulders. Fucking wrap them up, baby. Jesus.
They can't. They gotta do flips and gymnastics and like go on the uneven bars and like do a fucking routine and then get a touchdown. That's what they do with like the touchdown pole. Like they had one. They'd be doing like
at the last Buenos Aires Tigers practice, they actually watched clips of Goldblum on the uneven bars from The Fly. They were like, all right, if we could just simply do a few extra twirly flips.
Yes, this is how you will be in great shape and win football games.
Christ, I thought I was about to see Darth Maul on this team flipping around.
Well, this was a ridiculous football game, but also Denise Richards was like busy because she was like, hey, I ran into this random dude and don't care about my boyfriend anymore because he only got a 35 in math, which sounds like the grade that I'm going to get when I take math next semester. So I'm kind of scared.
That's awesome. Well, if 35 gets rid of idiot people from your life, then you might want to take it. Okay, well, all right. Can we talk about her, please?
Oh, I have so much to say.
It's so ridiculous. Now, listen. With film, we can let's ratchet it down for a minute. You want to always, and this is the same in literature, you always want to show people versus telling your audience things. You want to show them stuff. Don't just use dialogue to expect them to buy into something, right?
Right.
And there is nothing ever once that shows me that Ibanez likes Rico at all.
I agree 100%.
He's like a little dumb puppy dog to her.
She actually seems to hate him and lead him on. Like when she sends him that video later. I can't wait to talk about that.
Yes.
I can't wait till we talk about the videos.
Yes. But here's what I think. First of all, I have no sympathy for Rico because he's an idiot.
Yeah, seriously.
He's
Rico.
a fucking idiot.
Basically the hottest chick in like this entire movie, definitely.
The two hottest chicks in this movie want you.
One doesn't really want him, though.
One doesn't.
And she's so like less compared to Dizzy and her awesomeness. Who was a man in the movie. In the book, I mean, not the movie. Oh my God.
So, but listen, I was imagining now, this won't make sense for people who haven't seen the show on Showtime called The Affair.
Oh,
but
that's
you know
a good
how
show. You should watch it.
But you know how they have different perspectives?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I was imagining like Ibanez's perspective, if they reshot the scenes with her and Rico, she'd be like, he just isn't getting the hints.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand.
Rico, I don't like you.
I don't like you even a little.
And he's like, but I'm going to be an infantryman.
Once in a while, I throw you a mercy fuck. But please, Lee, I want to go do something with my life, Rico. I don't want to hang out with you anymore. You suck. And he's just like, Dizzy loves me, and this guy's Xander's a dick. And that's all he thinks.
Yeah. But Xander's not a dick. He just wants to be a pilot. He thinks Denise Richards is pretty. He had some words with her. They seem equally boring and like they should be a couple.
Yeah.
Well, like Casper Van Dien's very boring too.
They kind of deserve each other, actually. Xander I like because he's got
So he should be with Dizzy, is what you're saying. This should have been an old switcheroo.
Maybe, yeah.
The two people we don't like.
Yeah. What should have happened is Ibanez and Rico should have died fiery deaths. And Dizzy and
Xander should have lived. I know. I have notes about that, actually.
All right, we'll get to that. By the way, what kind of surface are these guys playing on? It looks hard as a rock. They're like slamming onto this.
AstroTurf.
I don't know about that.
It's concrete.
AstroTurf.
It's actually concrete. Sorry. So weird. But yeah, she's like, I don't even know. I like when she says like, oh, my dad's not going to be home.
Hey, you know what? I might have been able to do that football scene better. I used to play over in Brockton, Mass. I played for the high school football team. I was a running back, a wide receiver.
I was going to say, did he really play for Brockton? I don't think so.
I'm just making shit up.
Brockton rocks.
Yes. Oh, hold on a second. We're being tapped on the shoulder again. Uh-oh.
Mormon extremists disregarded federal warnings and established Port Joe Smith, deep inside the arachnid quarantine zone. Too late, they realized that Dantana had already been chosen by other colonists, arachnids. Would you like to know more?
Sorry.
I would like to know more. Where do I click?
We'll get back to that later, but boy, jeez, these feds always telling us something, huh? All right.
Let me tell you.
Let's talk about the scene with Rico's parents.
Thank God. I can't wait.
I'm
so excited.
This is high school play-worthy.
This is the worst dialogue that's ever been written in like the history of the world.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty awful.
Just basically his parents are like, listen, Rico, we don't want you to join the army. So instead we're going to give you a trip to the beach. And he's like, cool, thanks, guys. I really like the beach.
I don't want to go to no queer beach, Ma.
No, but at first he's like, okay, I really always wanted to go to that beach, so I guess instead of going to the army or college, I'll just go to that beach.
Oh,
what the fuck?
My God, it's so bizarre.
What is wrong with him? And then I like when he goes to school and he's like saying,
You're
like,
cut off. You'll be cut off, mister.
wasn't he like saying a ride check like about, oh, my parents don't want me to join the army, they're gonna send me to some beach, and like ride check's like, I don't give a shit about what your parents say to you, sir.
It was amazing.
And that's how I felt. Like, really?
That's why I love him. I love Michael Ironside in general. Where did I first see him? Top Gun, right?
I guess, yeah.
He played Jester, or one Tom Skerritt and him are both like the guys who run the Top Gun thing. And he's like, Goose and Maverick, you're dead, get back to base. That was him in that movie, yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it was a Michael Ironside. Anyway.
I like Top Gun. I haven't seen it in a long time, though. Sorry. It's when Tom Cruise was still not scary. Back in the day.
Jumping around on the couch.
You have nightmares about him.
Talking about alien gods.
Yeah.
All right.
He did too many sci-fi movies, apparently. Anyway, they should make a sci-fi movie about his life. His alien gods.
They did. It's called Battlefield Earth. by the genius L. Ron Hubbard that brought you.
Isn't Battlefield Earth like your worst favorite movie of all time?
It's pretty high up on the list.
Someone's going to request it now.
If I ever get to the point where I can do bad movies, that's highly, highly on the list. It was like the worst movie I saw in roughly 1 decade. It's that bad.
Yeah.
But fuck that movie.
We'll talk about it another time.
So daddy says no. Mommy says we want to give you a trip. You know, it's all settled.
Go to the beach.
It's all settled then, yeah. Okay, Ma, let me go get my shovel and I'll build sand castles with you.
Oh, by the way, can I say one more thing? This is going backwards, but like the scene where they're dissecting the bug and Denise Richards pukes. First of all, how is she going to do anything in the army if they're like trying to kill bugs if she pukes when she sees bug guts?
I don't know.
It was very upsetting.
You got me there.
I said, and then there was Dizzy just going into that bug like it was nobody's business. Like, learn how to dissect the bug.
I agree. Yes.
For Christ's sake.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned that. And this is a good time for me to probably say this. You could easily, and I'm not even exaggerating, write down, and I challenge somebody who's listening to this, I challenge you to write down, because I know you can do it. I have faith in the listener. 50 reasons why the humans will lose to the bugs every time. I guarantee you can write down 50 reasons just from watching this movie alone.
One of your freaking captains throws up when she sees bug guts. Great reason.
From the recruitment to the training to the way they do promotions it's just, you could at least 25. At least 25. Somebody give me I'm talking to you, whoever's listening. Send me 25 reasons why the human would lose the war every time to the bugs. LSGpodcast@gmail.com. God, there's so many. There's so many.
Oh, I know.
Oh, my God. All right.
But listen, she's going to go join, and she's going to be a pilot. And Rico's all crying because his parents are going to send him to the beach. But then that little hussy says, well, maybe I'll see you at the academy.
Who's the hussy?
She says that to Xander.
Yeah.
But she does say that to him, which is not very nice.
But at this point, Dizzy's making it pretty clear that she's into Rico, but Rico would rather go talk to Rychek because that's how he is. Because, you know, he wants him to hold him down with that one arm and just fuck him. You know,
wow.
He thinks that'll really move his mobile infantry career if he gets that one arm just gripping him down on the mat, you know?
Yeah. So, yeah, he doesn't want to be with Dizzy. And Denise Richards is already moving on to Xander and seeing him at the academy.
Yeah.
Hey, see you at the academy. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Well, he'll see you there. Yeah.
You know what that means.
Yep, I do. That she'll like him for about 3 hours or something. And
yeah, this high school dance was pretty much the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And it was like an episode of 90210. Actually, I like 90210, so that would be wrong in my own special way.
Yes, that is true. And by the way, it's not even like listen, there are people who out there who are going to be like, dude, you're crazy. Denise Richards is way hotter than Dizzy, way hotter. And listen,
no,
that's fine. You can think that.
No, you can't.
But she's not, even if I concede that on paper, that she's more attractive, which I don't necessarily agree with, Dizzy seems so much more interesting and sexy and confident and cool and knows what she wants and she's tough. She's so much more interesting than Ibanez, and I just can't sympathize with Rico's. Rico's so hard to sympathize with. That's why, yes, There's brilliant satire in this film, and it can't be ignored. And we're going to keep talking about it. But at the same time, you have to make your characters likable.
Yeah.
All the characters that survive are unlikable. All the cool people die.
Everybody who's cool dies.
Which is
except for,
cool
like,
if you're writing a dark fucking movie, but you're
It's
not.
not.
You're not, you know?
I just wanted to say that, like, my opinion on Denise Richards, if anybody cares, which I said when I was watching the movie, that pretty much the only time where Denise Richards is hot or anybody is really like, yeah, I really love Denise Richards is when she's, like, having a three-way with Nev Campbell and Matt Dillon in Wild Things. And that's, I feel like, her crowning achievement in life.
Oh my God, no way that happened. Can I rent that on Redbox?
I heard they offered Marky Mark that role in Wild Things before Matt Dillon. It's Matt Dillon, right? Am I wrong?
I don't remember. You're asking me about Wild Things? I host a science fiction film podcast.
Nev Campbell made out with Denise Richards. You're a man.
Yeah, I probably YouTubed it a half a dozen times.
Nev Campbell's hotter than Denise Richards too, I think. Sorry. I know I'm biased because of my Party of Five obsession, but still.
Okay. Did Denise Richards marry Charlie Sheen?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she like had a threesome one time and it was like on video, not in Wild Things, like in real
With
life.
Charlie, him, and his vodka bottle?
Yeah, probably.
Jesus Christ.
They had a lot of problems though. Like he would like leave her voicemails and she would like release them to tabloids, right? Isn't she the one who did that?
I think so. But can we talk about Rico and Ibanez for a minute?
Let's do it.
Because listen, this is what I mean by they talk about, like Rico and Ibanez talk about how they're going to miss each other. And do you know why we know that they're going to miss each other?
Because they say they're gonna.
Yes. But nothing else indicates otherwise. Nothing indicates that they're going to miss each other. We haven't seen anything of their relationship that means anything. There's no reason for a viewer to be watching this film and be like, oh, their relationship's really in jeopardy over like their career choices.
Yeah, and they also have no chemistry just as actors together.
Zero.
Like, I mean,
I already told you about him. He wants Rychek to hold him down with that one arm.
well, I don't know what to tell him. I just like at the part when they say they're going to go into, you know, the army or whatever it's called. And when they make the friendship pact that they're going to be friends forever.
Oh, God.
That's basically my favorite part of
The one where they all put their hands in. I forgot all
Because
about
I did that
scene.
in high school, says no one ever.
I know. Or you got your ass whooped.
I'm pretty sure that's like what I did in like third grade with my friends. Like, let's be friends forever. Here's half of my heart necklace. But I also never put my hands in. To, like,
Listen, if
help
we ever
them.
get Matthew Anderson in studio, the three of us are going to put our hands in and we're going to be like, sci-fi film pod forever. And
They'll
then,
like record that shit and put it on YouTube.
and then jump in the air and throw our hands up like the fucking Three Musketeers. What is going on in this high school?
This is making me think of something I don't know what. It's gonna make me crazy, but when it comes to me, I'll get back to you. Good story. Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
But I'm
Do
assuming
that.
nobody at home ever, for 1 minute ever, thought Ibanez liked Rigo at all, and he's just delusional.
Oh yeah, for sure. I might think that Carl Jenkins likes Rico.
Yeah, that's a
They
possibility.
seem pretty tight. They're doing psychic, like, you know, evaluations of each other.
Yes.
Or he was doing a
yes.
psychic evaluation of him, and Rico's really bad at it.
Surprise, surprise. And he's bad at math.
I just like, yeah, he's bad at math. I just like when Doogie Howser says, based on statistical odds, you should have accidentally gotten one right by now.
Yes. And
So
I'm like,
basically, Rico's stupid is what we're supposed to know.
and the implications are so ridiculous. Like, oh, you're bad at math. You're gonna be meat for the meat grinder in the infantry, which is a wicked. Like, they're basically talking shit right there about
but exactly,
the military.
and
you
that's
know?
and that's what like I wrote. Like, I'm like, oh, the infantry, so the idiots. Like, that's what they're trying to say. Like, all you
Exactly.
people who are too stupid to do anything else can go into the infantry, which is such a fucked up thing to say.
It's so fucked up.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Right. That's the point. That's the point Verhoeven's trying to make with the satire. That's what he's saying. Speaking of satire, let's get right over to the drill instructor and their arrival there, right? What's his name? Clancy Brown.
Oh yeah, Private Zim, love him. Kelvin Inman from Lost.
More importantly, he is the Kurgan from Highlander.
He was in like 2 episodes of Lost, and that's what I care about.
Better to burn out than to fade away. That's his great line from the Highlander.
Isn't that like a line from like
Oh yeah,
a Kurt Cobain suicide note or something?
that's fucked up.
It actually is.
Then that means he was a fan of the Highlander before he.
That's great. I love
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain.
Okay. This just went from fun to very depressing. So
Well, sure. I don't know what else to say.
the drill instructor is so preposterous. Like, it's funny because I watched an
love it.
interview with Clancy Brown. He's like, yeah, you know, we're trying to, in this performance, I'm like, stop. Clancy, I love you. You're a great Kurgan, but stop. You're great in Lost, but stop. You're not trying to do anything. You're reading these ridiculous lines that were written to say, look at how ridiculous drill instructors can be.
It's supposed to be like, what's the movie? You know what I'm thinking of?
Full Metal Jacket.
Yes, it's supposed to be like Full Metal Jacket, right? I mean, isn't that what it's just like?
Yeah, Verhoeven was probably like, listen, watch Full Metal Jacket and repeat that.
I like
Right.
Verhoeven. Verhoeven. My favorite part is when he just breaks that dude's arm.
No big deal.
Like, hey, I just broke some dude's arm. I bet he's really going to be loyal and care about the military and get into that shit. Like,
P.S. Reason number 15 as to why the humans lose the war. Because the drill instructor bangs them all up before they have to go to war. They're all fucked up. They're all injured.
but the best thing that happens is then Dizzy comes over and she's like, hey, I'm joining this group because it's the best. And she's like, I'm going to fight you. And he's like, oh, what do you think? No, he says, what makes you think you're good enough like to join this group that's supposedly the best? And like Daisy like rips off her coat like she's just gonna strip naked. I'm like, holy shit, what is this movie about? But she just tries to beat him
Okay,
up.
reason number 17 why the military will fail in this place is because apparently when you get to basic training, you can simply just pick a new company to go train with.
Yeah.
All fucking willy-nilly. Like, hey, I don't like Easy Company. I'm going to go over to Dog Company. No big deal. Here's my paper. Why? Well, because I want to fuck that guy. Oh, well, sure.
Oh, go.
Let me just
you join that inventory.
Oh, let me just put my...
Wants to fuck some guy.
Yep, and put a note and put my John Hancock on here. There you go. Transfer is accepted. Now, one more thing, Dizzy, before you transfer. You will have to engage Clancy Brown in hand-to-hand combat.
Wearing as little clothing.
Wearing some Street Fighter outfit. I don't know. Yeah, so.
Oh, my God.
And the hits just keep on coming. We have a message.
Oh.
We have a message.
Shit.
Hold on, everybody. We're being tapped on the shoulder once again.
Out of the ashes of Buenos Aires comes first sorrow, then anger.
The only good bug is a dead bug.
The only good bug is a dead bug.
That is a fact.
And they kill a dog, which, you know, I'm like, that's like pretty much the worst thing ever. So, like, for one moment in this movie, I felt like real emotion. I was like, that poor dog.
And what a performance. The best actor in the movie was the dog corpse.
Yeah. And then his owner was the, producer. He was like,
Yes.
oh, it's my dog corpse.
All right. Another
R.I.P. dog.
Yes. Another reason why this military will fail utterly at the hands of the bugs.
Cold showers. Are we there yet?
No.
Oh.
Because who needs a knife in a nuke fight?
Oh, I know.
So they line up, and I felt like I was at King Richard's Fair in Carver, Mass. Because all they're doing is whipping these fucking like knives at the goddamn things, and they're clanging off, which is exactly what happens when people throw knives at King Richard's Fair or the Ren Festival for other parts of the country. They call it different shit.
Yeah, the Ren Fair. That's in Connecticut.
They're just like, they're flipping them and they're clanging off the fucking wood. And I'm thinking, well, that's exactly what they're going to do when they hit the incredibly tough exoskeletons of the giant insects that you have to go to war with. And then the guy's like, well, what are you going to... And then
he says, you have no hand. Then
like,
he says like the stupidest shit. That
he's like, you can't launch a nuke if you can't push a button or something.
Oh, and
he pins his hand to the thing with the knife.
Also in like Australia or Germany, or I forgot where, but somewhere where they aired this movie, like they had to cut out the scene where the knife went through his hand, or they couldn't play it before like 8:30 p.m.
What?
Yes, I swear to God.
In what country?
I don't remember. It was either Australia or like maybe Germany, but somewhere they like cut that scene out so they could play it before a certain time. Because if that scene was in it, they were like, well, you can't play it before 8:30 p.m. Sorry.
That's so bizarro.
And so in Germany, they changed all the dialogue.
Try to make it less ridiculous?
Yes. They changed like a lot of like the military type dialogue where they were, basically like saying like war is great. And they said not that.
They were like, this is, they're like
we have to kill these bugs because we have no choice, as opposed to like, you should join the military because it's fun.
They're like, listen, take it from us. War is
bad.
So good. Take it from us. You don't want to do the war thing.
No,
right?
No, you do not. Thank you, German people.
So somebody learned from their mistakes. All right. So now we have the shower scene that you love so much because all you want to do is talk about soapy boobs.
No, well, listen. This is the most preposterous scene in the world, and this is why. Not because there's co-ed showers. Like, I get it. Like, I I like that the film is trying to say like that the sexes are equal, and that's very clear throughout the film. That like if you're a woman, you can do the same exact thing as a man. You can play in the football team. You can be in the infantry. You can be a captain. You shower together. You bunk together. Like I like that. That's something I like. The reason why the scene is so ridiculous, other than like nudity everywhere, is it's literally like the camera pans around the room and they're like, I joined the army because of this. I wanted to have babies. I want to be a politician. I wanted to be hot, so women want to date me. Like, I don't know. Like, it was just like so like everybody stands around the shower and they're like, hey, why did you join the army? And they're like, well, let's all just go around the room and talk about it.
I just want everybody to know right now, I didn't join the army for a girl. I wanted to kill some fucking bugs. I wanted to kill some fucking bugs. Okay?
But I like that, like, he doesn't say, and Dizzy's like, he joined up for a girl. And they're like, was it you, Dizzy? And she's like, wink, wink. Like, hey, I'm the one with no shirt on. Just my boobs hanging out. The director's penis is dangling out over there while we film this. What do you think about him, Verhoeven?
Dangling majesty. Oh, that's outstanding. That is outstanding. And then, we get a nice obligatory ass slap, which is nice.
Oh, obviously.
Very nice. Very nice ass. What else do we got?
My next note after the shower scene is Rico makes the gayest video ever for Carmen.
Wow, that's some hate speech you just did. You need to go to re-education camp.
I know. Not like gay as in homosexual, but as in...
Happy.
Ridiculous.
Wow.
I don't know. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Just keep digging that hole. Just keep digging. I don't mean like gay like that. I mean like, it'd be like if a black guy wrote it. Just keep going. Just keep fucking digging. What else you got?
All these Mexicans in this movie.
And unsubscribe.
Yeah, secretly, like every Mexican gay black listener is like, fuck that girl. We're only listening to Matthew Anderson.
Somebody
he never says anything politically incorrect.
All right.
Oh my god, I'm like sweating now.
So Ibanez.
Yeah, first he makes her a video where he's like, hey Carmen, check out my bunk. I'm so cool.
So terrible.
And Carmen gets it and she's like, ugh. And then there's like the worst scene of all time.
Except what you don't see, like I said, if we did this like The Affair, her perspective would be like, she'd be like, oh, what do we got here? Boop. You have 47 new messages. Hey, it's like, hey, Ibanez, boop. Hey, Ibanez, boop. Ibanez, I really wish you'd
don't
call.
know if you're getting my calls.
Ibanez, seriously?
Like, I'm just checking. Is this working? Like, is this working? Like, are you getting this? Like, I'm really poor read.
Please, pretty please.
Just call me back just so I know you're live.
With
Just call me back so I know you're live. We don't have to talk or like anything. Just so I know.
Are you out there?
That's because when she sends him the video back, she's like, sorry I couldn't write you sooner.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's probably like, what the fuck? I have to send him something or he's just gonna stalk me for life.
But she's too busy because she's having a little cutesy little racing match to the cockpit and sliding down the banister like they're in 5th grade.
Yeah, and then I
to the cockpit.
Throw up because it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
That was very silly.
All right.
And then she realizes Xander's there. He's like, hey, I've been here for 1 week longer than you, but I'm the assistant teacher now.
Reason number 18 why the humans lose the war. Because the fucking trainees who just graduated basic are running flight schools for capital ships. Why is this happening?
That's the funniest thing in this movie is like Xander's supposed to be like this like big like high person on the chain of command, but like actually he was just in high school at the same time as Carmen, so I don't understand.
At least
he must have got 100 on his math.
At least their ridiculousness is consistent throughout the film.
That is
because
true.
They all get crazy ranks and promotions on a fucking whim.
I know, Rico. He freaking gets promoted to everything and demoted and then promoted again.
And apparently Ibanez can fly as well as Han Solo, because, she's been training for 3 days.
Don't ever say her name in the same sentence as Han Solo ever again.
Well,
or I will walk out of this podcasting room. I will just walk out.
Han Solo shot first, Ma. All right. So I don't know why Mark Wahlberg is yelling at his mother today. Oh, that's right, because of the mother.
Because he's not going on vacation. He's going to be a citizen. God, get it right. If he walks out that door, he's not coming back because they're going to get blown up by bugs. Spoiler alert.
Maybe Ibanez had like posters of Han Solo. I don't know.
Maybe she had posters like Marky Mark.
Yeah, basically.
Anyway.
All right. So.
She breaks up with Rico through a video message. Very cruel.
Yeah, but can we seriously, like, the way she flies, 3 meters, she's twirling this cap ship all over the place.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty much crazy.
It's any scene that Carmen Ibanez is in, I can't even pay attention to. They're just terrible. They're just terrible.
But back on Rico, when he's going to join the mobile infantry and, more meat for the meat grinder and all that shit. Wouldn't it be, he should just be a gymnast, right?
Yes.
He's pretty good. He does crazy shit. He does
the
it in
military
basic
need
training
gymnasts?
Too. No.
But like the Olympics does. So.
Well, I don't know, because apparently their small squad tactics involves doing twirly flips over the bad guys.
Yeah, that
would definitely work. If you took a Marine platoon today and you had a bunch of insurgents doing backflips around them, they wouldn't know what to do.
When this happened, so they're doing the battle simulation and they're like, oh shit, they got us cornered. What are we going to do? And I said to Dean, I've never seen this movie before. I said, is he going to fucking do backflips?
That's
and
right.
Dean laughed like Robert De Niro. So I knew. I knew that the backflips were coming.
You knew it was coming.
I'm like, they fucking better not.
That's so.
Oh, but they did. They went there.
Oh, it's so brilliant.
They went there.
And Rico is such a delusional human. He's so lost. He's so out in the weeds. Right. He's just a lost soul, this kid.
But it's going to get even worse for him.
Yeah, he's
really soon.
He gets squad leader, and then he is sufficiently dumped on by Ibanez, who decides to break up with him on the widescreen edition. So the whole
which literally everybody is watching.
That's what I'm saying.
Why does everybody watch everybody else's personal videos?
I don't even like people I like looking at my text messages, let alone my breakup vids from my crazy fleet girlfriend.
Hello. Dean hides those and keeps them personally. Watches them at night, like cries.
Yes.
Oh, Carmen.
I have all my old breakup videos on my phone.
He's got a lot of them, let me tell you.
So fucking many. Imagine having to deal with me every day. Jesus Louises.
I'm working on the breakup vid right now. Just kidding.
So then we have our live fire exercise. That the guy says like that. Live fire exercise. What's his name? Dean what? That's the guy from he's in Breaking Bad, right?
Oh, yeah. Morris, maybe? Dean Morris?
Dean Norris.
Oh, I was so close.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
He's in Breaking Bad, and he's also in Under the Dome, which don't watch it. Read the book instead. Trust me.
Wow.
You won't regret it. The book is awesome.
No offense to the fans.
No offense to the fans of that show, but the book is amazing. So if you're a fan of the show, you should also read the book.
Yeah. And is Rico really surprised when he gets dumped, honestly? Like, you didn't see that coming?
Yes, because he is delusional.
I guess so.
It's like the affair. Like, in his mind, he sees her being like, hey, honey.
But don't worry, Gary Busey's kid tells him, you got
a person you should take advice from always.
He's like, you got squad leader on your own, dude.
You didn't need that broad.
I'm going to continue to play violin at inopportune times.
Yeah. That's oh my God. On the list of shit that I like have to. Why does that guy just randomly play violins? And I just don't even know.
Hey, listen, he's got a musical talent. How dare you? People
in the armed forces, like for real, like they're considered like military, and all they do is like playing like the military bands though, because it's supposed to like rallies troop morale or whatever.
I actually went to see a jazz band play, and the drummer had been a military drummer, and he was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, there's somebody that I went to high school with, and that's what he does. He's like in a military band, like he's part of the military, and that's all he does is he does musical stuff. So why doesn't that guy just do that?
I don't know.
Why does he have to be an infantryman when he could just be a violinist?
Do you know what the fucking military is terrible at in this movie?
Everything.
Weapon fire and weapon safety and weapon control. Can we talk about the live fire exercise?
Thank God. Let's get to it. I'm ready.
All right. First of all, and I wish at times this was a video podcast so you guys could see what I'm about to do. But this is how they shoot. They fucking shake their guns left and right. Shake, 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 shake. Like the bullets are stuck in the barrel. They fucking shake them, and they never aim, and they just shake, and they pull the trigger, and they just hold the fucking trigger down, and they just hold it down and shake, 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 shake. And they wonder why they're blowing away their compatriots' heads.
I feel like I could shoot a gun better than these people.
That is a fact.
And I have way less experience.
I don't understand it. Like, they never look down their sights. They don't aim. They're always shooting full auto and charging forward while running, right? They run forward
Yeah.
shooting their guns. I don't understand it. That's another reason you can put down that they're going to lose the war to the fucking bug. See, I'm helping you guys out for your 25.
The next reason is taking off your helmet while people are shooting guns around you.
Yes. But their whole tactics, the whole way they fight is ridiculous. They run
I
around
agree.
shooting in like clumps, which we'll get to later. But yes, takes her helmet off.
He's a dude that dies, right?
Oh, yeah, he takes his helmet off. But listen, they had a bad run. Broken arm, then shot in the head. Sorry. Should have stayed on the farm, boyo.
Seriously.
Now, let's talk about the method of which these things happen. They get shocked. It seems like a terrible idea on your safety course to have people get electrocuted and they fucking lose control of their bodies more than they already do.
And they start shooting people.
They just start spraying like Eugene from The Walking Dead all over the place. Like, what is going on? Jesus Louises.
Eugene, he would be in the inventory.
All right, what do we got next here?
Yeah, so this guy, and by the way, like when this guy got his head blown off, I was like, holy shit, that dude just got his head blown off. Like,
Yes.
I was not expecting that.
You're like, wait, is this movie serious or not? I
Yeah,
can't
was
figure it
confused.
out.
I'm like, am I supposed to be sad right now? Like, I'm confused.
Oh, we're being tapped on the shoulder.
Oh, shit.
Every day, federal scientists are looking for new ways to kill bugs.
Your basic arachnid warrior isn't too smart, but you can blow off a limb. And it's still 86% combat effective. Here's a tip. Aim for the nerve stem and put it down for good.
You know what I was thinking just a minute ago?
What?
Right before we played that clip. I was thinking about Rico's administrative punishment for the live fire exercise. Okay, so he gets administrative punishment, right?
Yes.
Like, what the fuck, man? And then they whip him in front of everyone else because, you know, what they want you to do is they want you to be like, ooh, I can't wait to be squad leader and make a mistake because then I'll get whipped. That squad pin is like worse than the hand of the kingpin in Game of Thrones because everyone who gets that's dead.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. You don't want that pin. After watching a dude get whipped 10 times with a big ass bullwhip.
Yeah, when that happened too, it was the same thing where I'm like, is this movie like serious or funny? Like, I'm not sure right now because this is pretty serious to me. Also, the girl who fired the shot got like dismissed from like duty, and she was a black woman.
She had to
and he
walk.
was a white man. And
What are you talking
Shame on
about,
them.
bro? He's supposed to be.
I'm sorry, he was a Hispanic / white man.
Yeah, I guess.
But I was like, what the hell? They did so good about women having equal rights, and then they kick out the black chick and they let the freaking handsome white guy stay in. And he was squad leader. He was in charge.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But then he's a little pussy. He's like, I'm going to quit anyway because I'm a puss.
That's a fact. So here's some more shit. We have this whole dialogue with Ibanez, right? Where she's talking to Xander.
Oh, is this the
Because-
part where my only note says Denise Richards is quite possibly the worst actress of all time?
That would be my guess.
Okay. Continue.
Where they're like, she's plotting a new course all of the cutscenes back to the Ibanez character. By the way, she has her own like through line as if we give two fucks
Yeah,
about her.
seriously, I don't give a shit.
Right?
I don't even care about Rico's through line. So
And Xander's like, you're a maverick. You do whatever you want. And I'm like, okay, apparently.
dare you.
Apparently, but you're just telling me. I haven't seen that happen yet. But I believe you because you're telling me. They just like drop it into the dialogue, you know? It's
they're like,
weird.
she's crazy. Like, she's a crazy flyer. Like, she's crazy.
Yeah.
Because that'll come back. Don't worry, guys. There's nothing here that doesn't come back in the most obvious way.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, but that's the thing I don't understand. I said they just didn't. They had a whole through line that they cut, that they intersperse with the Rico storyline, and that's what's going on with Ibanez, and nobody cares. Well, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I don't give a flying shit about her character at all.
Me neither.
Zero.
I wanted her to die.
Yes.
Sorry, Ibanez.
I was more interested in seeing what was going on with the crazy capital ship stuff and the stuff in space than I really was about Ibanez. And I already told you I liked Xander, and I think I like Xander more than Rico, kind of.
Yeah, I hate Rico too and want him to die also.
Well, I'm not going to say I want him to die, but
I didn't want anybody to die, but... So Rico gets demoted, but he is going to like quit. And he talks to his parents on the phone. Everybody watches it because everybody watches everybody's phone calls, which is so weird.
it's like the
And
NSA.
all of a sudden the sky gets dark and like, oh, Rico, honey, the sky's getting dark. We're on a split screen phone. I think it's going to start to rain.
All right, I have a question.
Sure. I probably don't have an answer.
If you, listen, people out there right now use FaceTime.
Oh, yeah, FaceTime or Skype.
Or whatever. If your parents are in the same house, why are they on split screen? I know that's really
They're
nitpicky.
actually divorced at this point because they're so mad about Rico they couldn't recover and they had to break up.
Ma, why aren't you guys talking anymore? Huh? Is it because I went to the army? But honestly, they're on split screen and they're in the same house. That just seemed odd to me. But
yeah, it's very odd.
What? By the way, that dialogue is brilliant. Where he's like, "Oh, rain, weird.
Oh my God, it's getting dark. Oh,
Rain.
I gotta go." And he's like, "Mom, Dad."
Yeah, and that's
Transmission ended.
That's the end of Buenos Aires, unfortunately.
Because obviously that's what they blew up, is where Rico was from, so that he wouldn't quit the army. Because those bugs know what's up.
That's right. They certainly do. Oh, hold on a second. We're being summoned once again.
Everyone's doing their part. Are you? The war effort needs your effort. At work, at home, in your community.
I love that crazy girl at the end, the way she's like, stepping on those cockroaches.
Yeah, those are just some kids killing bugs. Like, no big deal. just killing them. Just smushing them. It was pretty disgusting.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Let's see.
So Rico doesn't quit.
He stays because he's.
That off.
I think we knew he was going to stay.
Oh, Ibanez. By the way, this is my favorite thing. Buenos Aires is wiped off the earth, they say. However, we do have some nice shots of Buenos Aires
Just
burning. Where are those cameras?
I read what it was actually taken from. It was taken from some big fire somewhere, but I didn't write it down, so I failed.
Oh, really?
But that's actually from a real fire.
In the U.S.?
Somewhere. I think so, yes.
Probably, yeah. There was fire. There's always fires like that out there because of the droughts and shit.
There's always fires somewhere in the world, unfortunately.
Oh, boy. All right. So Ibanez comes back to offer some stiff dialogue with Rico. We're at war.
I stopped taking notes about Ibanez at this point.
It's a real glorious homecoming.
I'm more concerned
about... And then they have a fight with Mazzy Star playing over it. Yeah, and he's like, this is like, the whole film is like us versus them. Right?
Yeah.
It's us versus the bugs, win at all costs. And it's this whole us versus them. Like, it's the fleet guys don't like the fucking MI guys. It's like the Navy SEALs are cooler than the Force Recon or whatever the fuck. It's this crazy, like, thing where they're battling. They're always like, I'm cooler than you. I'm cooler than you. And honestly, I think Xander just has Rico's number. He knows how to push his buttons.
Yeah.
He knows Rico's a fucking crazy person who can't control
himself. Kind of a loser.
And totally delusional. So Xander just keeps pushing his buttons. And, then he drops some elbows on him like it's a WW fucking F.
Yeah, but there's one thing about Rico that's like way cooler than Xander.
Go for it.
That he got matching tattoos with all his friends.
Let's go get cut together.
Let's get tattoos.
Yeah.
I love that part. I'm actually going to get that tattoo. I was like, I've really been thinking of the right tattoo to get. Now that I've seen that one, how could I say no?
Yes, that's a good point.
I'd just be a badass. And they really did. They were good about keeping the tattoos on their arms for the rest of the movie when they were wearing short sleeves because I watched for that shit.
All right, so let's talk about the middle of the big middle sort of like huge Act 2 moment where they attack Clendathu, right? They just attack it. They attack it from the sky, they attack it on the ground, and they got these blue things shooting up in the sky, and they're all just like, oh, these are supposedly harmless, and then they just start blowing cap ships in half, and I'm like, wow.
They are not harmless at all.
Where's Doogie Howser with the military intelligence? Because these things this bug flak is doing some serious damage to your cap ship fleet. So, hey, you might want to get that shit under control. And
the bugs are huge compared to like how big you thought they were. Like there are some huge fucking bugs.
Yes. Now, here's where you could rattle off many, many reasons why the war effort's not going well. They have these drop ships land. They just file out in huge clumps together. They sway their rifles around like kids playing with a garden hose and holding down the triggers. And here's the best part. They advance on the creatures that have incredibly amazing hand-to-hand close combat killing skills. They advance on them. You have guns. Pull away. Shoot them from farther away. Why are you walking towards the mass of insects with your guns? Walk away from them. And then this whole nuking thing where they're like, why don't we just nuke these? Yeah. Why are you putting guys on the planet when you could just bomb them from orbit, and then when they go hide in their holes, then you go down on the planet?
That's
right?
what I wrote, though. I don't understand why they don't just freaking nuke the whole planet and just
Exactly.
say goodbye, bugs and planet. Like, we don't really need you. Goodbye.
Yes.
Like, why are you doing hand-to-hand combat with things you can't do hand-to-hand combat with? It's so ridiculous.
why are they getting
and
that
why does
close?
it take so many bullets to kill a bug? And why, when Doogie Howser did his video, did it only take him like 10 bullets to kill a bug, but it takes everybody else like 300?
I already told you. Their skill set is in gymnastics, not firearms.
Well, then they should just be doing flips on a plane and nuking the planet.
Should have stayed with the Buenos Aires Tigers is what he should have.
Seriously, yeah.
So yeah,
Do another year there.
it's it's like these tactics. I wrote down. Is this what it was like? Is this what it was like in the Revolutionary War when the fucking English Reds would all line up, all the English regulars, and like the colonists were hiding in trees and shit? Like, fuck that. I'm not lining up with those guys. I'm going to hide over here and shoot them from this hill.
Yeah, I'm not going to
You
wear
know?
freaking bright red so everybody can fucking see me. Jesus
Stand in
Christ.
line like a good chap. So yeah, it was crazy, man. I don't know. But
There are a lot of violent deaths.
here's what happens. The overwhelming numbers of the bugs, surprise, surprise, they're bugs, as well as terrible tactics, and they get the shit kicked out of them. Lots of Rico's friends dies. Our boy Rico gets the thing jammed through his leg, and it's just a goddamn mess, right?
Yeah.
Then they get back. Then they get back to the ship, and Ibanez and Xander arrive on the ship, and this is my favorite moment.
Okay. The one where you think Rico's dead.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes. Right before then. So they're showing the killed in action scrolling marquee on the huge screen because that's good for morale.
Oh, totally.
All your friends are dead. Here's their
Totally.
names. Right. And then she's like, and they walk through this huge like cargo bay area of people screaming in agony and wounded, like Civil War tents.
Yeah.
Right. And then she's like, wow, not many wounded when she's looking at the screen. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
There's like 50 wounded people behind you,
You
dumbass.
just walked through an auditorium of people who are all fucked up. What do you mean no wounded? That seemed like an actual movie mistake to me.
Seriously.
Like there's things we can pick on, but I think that was a legit like, why would they say that after they just walked by a ton of people wounded?
Because she's stupid and she doesn't understand things.
That's true.
But she looks up Rico's name.
Yes.
And he is KIA.
KIA. Because apparently
Kia.
the team of medical doctors working on him failed to update the board.
Yeah. Because he's not. He's actually in some crazy submerged water thing.
Yeah, that reminded me very much of Star Wars, the Bacta tank for Luke in Empire Strikes Back.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
time. That was like, that reminded me of that, and I thought that they were doing a little homage there.
Maybe they were. So
So-
Rico's not dead. He's not KIA. But it was funny because as if we didn't get the whole thing, like, oh man, Denise Richards thinks he's dead. That's sad. Because that's how we're supposed to feel, I think. Is they all go over to him and they're like, look, you're killed in action, dude. Yeah, we
Yes.
got it. We got that he was killed in action. People think that about him. Thank you.
And then we really cared what Ibanez thought not.
Yeah, and we also learned that there's like a brain bug. Oh no, they have to understand the bug to kill the bug.
Yes.
And then I thought that if they need to understand the bug, that they should call the Brundlefly. Because he
That
probably
is
knows.
a great idea.
I feel like they really dropped the ball on that.
They really dropped the ball. The Sky Marshal should have employed the one and only
Brundlefly.
Brundlefly. Oh,
He would know.
being tapped on the shoulder again.
Oh,
Sorry.
shit.
Oh, sorry, guys. We got to take a quick break here.
Fleet officials admit they underestimated the arachnid's defensive capability. Accepting responsibility for Clendethu, Sky Marshal Deans resigns.
Sorry, Sky Marshal Deans.
Sorry,
You're out
dude.
of there.
Sorry, dude.
You're a failure. They've just reintroduced Sky Marshal Aretha Franklin, apparently.
Yeah. Hey. Whatever
She's
works,
like,
I
we're going to
guess.
get a little respect up in this human motherfucking place now.
Yeah, and they did. Because they win the war eventually, right?
I guess. But we're not quite there yet.
Oh, no. 1 million more people are going to die.
Yes. So let's see. We've got the doctors, the medical staff. We said all that. They descend on a planet after the airstrikes and start nuking bug holes. So yeah, that's the next action sequence. They have shoulder-mounted nukes. No big deal, by the way. I mean, they're just firing nukes off their
Yeah,
shoulder.
no
you
big
know.
deal. That's totally safe.
Not off of like a ballistic missile submarine or anything. Just right from your shoulder. And Rico gets his heroic moment when they fight that one bug and he shoots it in the back. He puts the thing in it. That reminded me of Empire Strikes Back where Luke puts the thermal detonator in the AT-AT walker. I very much thought of that moment.
Yep.
And
he broke ribs filming that scene.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, for real.
From the fall?
Yeah, and there's another scene where actually Dizzy, Dina Meyer, got a concussion.
No way.
So this is a violent movie. But yeah,
Damn.
he did. He broke at least one rib when they were filming that.
You know what I was thinking when I was watching this, and I should have looked this up. They seem to always want to be, some of them anyway, adjusting their helmets. Their helmets seem to fall down over their eyes. Like
seriously.
It really look like there's a couple scenes where like Michael Ironside's looking up and you can tell his helmet's in his eyes and it looks frustrating as hell. And there's a few times where if you watch where you watch the action closely, you're going to start to get that impression like, wait a second, I think we should probably adjust these helmets a little or something. They keep getting in people's eyes. But
seriously. This
is when we get introduced, we get a little bit of a party because our main man.
Fat Cat's Roughnecks!
Yep. They're all there. And then they have a pretty nice, after this whole situation where they destroy this huge bug, which is cool, by the way, with the flames.
Yeah.
Very cool. And it burns that chick's arm off.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty fucked up.
They decide to break out the party rations, which is violins and footballs.
Yeah.
This is like the toy box I have under my stairs. It's just random shit.
Oh, just some footballs and a rando green violin, like in case somebody wants to play that. Like no big deal. And like Gary Busey sounds like I actually would like to play the violin because I'm not weird at all.
Yes. When Daddy was on a coke binge, I learned how to play the violin to comfort my fears. Wow. Too soon? Jesus.
Yeah. Oh,
so listen.
Busey.
What's with all the white people dancing shit? What's with the hee-haw dancing in this movie? It's like, deedle-deedle-dee, we're dancing like this. Dee-dee-dee-dee. And I was like, this reminds me of like, you know how Firefly has a Western motif?
Yeah.
But it's established?
Right.
That's not established in this. And they have this like crazy like white people dancing going on when they're partying, drinking beers. The last time I went to a party and people broke out into like Western dancing, maybe just because I live in the North, just doesn't happen.
Are you sure? Because I feel like I go to parties that happens all the time.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Hey, man, we're going to have a hoedown later. You want to swing by?
Yeah.
Right on, man.
We'll go to a hoedown one of these days and you can learn.
Yeah. So anyway.
They party and then they bang.
Finally. Basically.
And every guy in the world's like, we get another tit shot. Yes.
Basically, Rychek has to basically
say,
help
like,
him
why don't you
put
fuck
his
that girl?
Dick in the girl, right? he needs a lot of help here, this poor kid. Poor Rico.
I don't want to dance with you. I'm too busy. And Rychek's like, you're stupid.
Yes.
Why don't you have sex with that girl?
Yes.
She's only beautiful, amazing, great at football, smarter than everybody else in this movie, has curly hair. Like, I don't know. She's just pretty much amazing.
I like her. And then, of course, they have to move out because they go to that compound. They find that the bugs tunneled in, kicked their ass.
Yep.
They meet that general who's a big bitch, crying about this and that. And they all take their helmets off, which you can't do in a live fire exercise. But during wartime, you can remove your helmet.
You just take that shit right off.
Just take your helmet off. No biggie. And yeah. So this is where we get to the scene where the fleet's getting pounded and Ibanez and Xander have to crash land on the planet. And then, of course, we have to have the reunion, the obligatory reunion, which is just a GD nightmare.
Isn't they say like though, like they're like, well, he goes, well, I hope you have a crazy pilot. And since 10 times before in the movie, they said like, you're a crazy pilot.
Yes.
Like, wow. And I rolled my eyes like nobody's business.
I believed them because they told me she was crazy.
Yeah, they told us a lot of times. And so when they said, do you have a crazy pilot? I said, oh, me, I know one. I know a crazy pilot. Call on me, please.
So they get down there, and unfortunately, the brain bug is there, and poor Xander gets his head evaporated.
Yeah, he gets his brain sucked out.
Yep, he gets his brain sucked out, which is one of the few lines I grabbed outside of the the federal things.
They sucked his brains out.
They sucked his brains out. But
yeah, he's totally
and then,
dead.
Unfortunately, Xander gets his brains sucked out, and that's the end of him. So then we get, where what are we doing here?
I don't know.
The reunion, okay? Because Ibanez gets what gets like what looks like a telephone pole-sized piece of wood jammed through her body.
Yeah,
right?
but she's fine.
No, yeah, she's fine.
Like she is like actually
Tip-top.
like nothing comes of this injury. She doesn't bleed out. She has no problems walking. She doesn't feel dizzy. She's just totally fine.
Listen.
And she has a manicure, so it's okay.
She's a crazy pilot.
She's a crazy pilot, and she has a
So-
manicure, and she also gets a gun from literally nowhere.
Yes.
Like 1 second she has a gun, and then or doesn't have a gun, and then the next second she just magically has one.
Yes. Which could be a reason they could win the war, but we're going to get right back to reasons why they can't win the war, which is Rico abandons his platoon to go on some half-cocked mission to find his
save
friend.
Carmen.
Yes. Because the audience is dying for their reunion. They're on the edge of their seats. Oh, please get back together, please.
No, the audience is like, be with Dizzy, but guess what? She's fucking dead now.
Yes.
Dizzy's dead.
Yes. How
Bad
do we go
news.
by that?
Because you were so mad about Carmen that you had to go there. But
And she's
Dizzy
like,
is dead.
I got to have you,
That
Rico.
was the worst part of this whole movie.
That's what she says.
No, Dizzy, he was lucky to have you.
Yes.
You were
Jesus.
not lucky to have him. You could have done better. You could have hooked up with Xander, who was more awesome. You could have even hooked up with Gary Busey's son, who was better. You could have hooked up with Private Sugar Watkins,
Ah, yeah.
played by Seth Gilliam, who we love on the show.
Love Sugar Watkins. Love Sugar Watkins.
All these people are better than
In fact,
Rico.
Sugar Watkins.
Rico's Roughnecks!
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Sugar
Except that he
Watkins.
said that. That made me not really like him.
Not quite as good, but
And his name is Sugar, which really upsets me.
yeah. So here we go.
Dizzy's dead. R.I.P.
Yes.
But we're gonna save Carmen because it's okay that Dizzy's dead. We're gonna move on to the
Yes.
grievously wounded Carmen, who has
Yes.
no issues with her grievous wound.
Yes. So Rico is still obsessed with reuniting with his big-titted pseudo-girlfriend, and he gets, like I said, it looks like a deck post is like rammed through her back. No big deal.
It's like a giant gaping hole. Like,
And listen, I don't want to get too raunchy, but that bug really needs some Vagisil on his face.
oh, come on.
I'm just gonna say it. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch the movie and know exactly what I'm talking about. It's so, in fact, it's so gross I can barely look at it. That bug's face, that brain bug isn't good.
That
Anyway,
poor brain bug.
yeah, that poor thing.
I'll talk about why he's a poor thing later.
Oh, you're such a
When we
loser.
get there.
It's us versus them.
Listen.
It's us versus them, sub-host.
And they've already killed everybody. They killed Dizzy and Xander so Rico and Carmen can live happily ever after, which I'm thrilled about.
Yes.
Said no one ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes. So here's the good news. Once they get rid of the brain bug, they get out of there, they have their reunion.
And someone captures a brain bug.
Let's not get too
Oh,
far.
sorry. I'm so excited.
But here's what we find out, that they've captured, or they reunite with Colonel Doogie Howser. Colonel.
Doogie Howser.
Colonel. By the way, anybody who's watching this in the military is probably shitting their pants going, wow, he got a colonel position after a couple of months. That would never happen ever. It takes
Yeah.
like 20 years.
He's like brilliant though, and can actually is psychic and probably force people to make him a colonel.
I doubt that. So they get back, and the three of them fight their way back out just in time for the actual hero of the movie. By the way, they filmed this final scene, which is
I know.
Zim, right? You're like, wait, was the brain bug the mission? Is that why, is Zim the hero or Rico? What's going on
No,
here?
Rico's not the hero. Zim is the hero. My good friend Kelvin Inman, he gets that. Well, I guess his real name is Clancy Brown. He
Yes.
just gets that brain bug and he captures it, and now everyone's going to carry him on their shoulders and cheer.
Yes.
Me included.
Yes.
Good job, Private Zim, because he
Private
used
Zim.
to be like a captain or whatever.
Sergeant.
But he demoted himself
He
so that
did.
he could fight.
Yes.
Because he cares about this battle and he
Yes.
wants to kill those fucking bugs.
Fuck the bugs. I want to fight.
And then Carl Jenkins. What is he again? Colonel Jenkins. Colonel Doogie Howser, as you call him.
Yes.
Says like, look at this bug. It's just scared. And they all fucking cheer.
Yes.
Because the bug is scared.
Yes, that's part of the
So-
satire. That's part of the satire.
Basically, the point is that this brain bug, who was like in charge of the whole operation, is actually just fucking terrified, and that's why I did all these awful things. And they're like, "Yay, it's fucking scared."
It's not even that it's scared. Like if you go back and watch the movie closely, you'll note that they say shit like because of the humans' encroachment on their land, they retaliated. Like they make it very clear that
the bugs are not the bad
were not the
guys.
aggressors, and it was all the humans.
I felt bad for that brain bug. I wrote that poor bug is scared and being tortured, and I felt sad for him.
It was pretty sad. That's a fact. But Yes, that's the end of the movie. That's the conclusion of Starship Troopers. What do you think?
I forgot to talk about one thing, which is that why do they have a funeral for Dizzy and no one else, including Ironside? He doesn't even get a funeral?
They had to give him something. They had to give her something.
But they couldn't give one to Rychek?
Only one guy gets a funeral per military campaign.
Oh, and also another important part that we didn't talk about is how Rychek kills some dude when he gets grabbed by a bug, and he's like, I hope that anybody in this military would do that for me. So we all know that obviously Rico is going to kill Rychek later, which he does. But yeah, why doesn't he get a funeral? Why doesn't Xander get a funeral? Why is only Dizzy allowed to have a funeral? I like Dizzy, but I feel like other people deserve it too. I feel like everyone who gave their life to the bugs, this bug war, should have been honored.
Agreed.
R.I.P. to all of them.
So, how much fun did you have doing this podcast?
It was hilarious, and I laughed so hard that I cried.
Talk to me about your final thoughts on Starship Troopers.
This is a terrible movie. But charming also in its terribleness. If you want to have a good laugh and you don't want to take yourself too seriously, like if you take yourself seriously, don't watch this movie because it'll be stupid and you will feel angry. But if you don't take yourself seriously, just have a couple glasses of wine, watch this shit, make it a drinking game. Like every time, like, you know, Abanya says something stupid, take a drink. And
every time they promote war.
Yeah, every time they talk about how war is good.
And I'm drunk in 5
Yeah,
minutes.
you will be severely intoxicated.
All right. My final thoughts on this film are pretty much this. I think that Starship Troopers is a superbly entertaining piece of cinema. I think it is a wonderful satire that pokes fun at jingoistic, warlike, nationalistic bullshit. That's exactly what it set out to do, and it did it successfully. It didn't do it accidentally. It did it purposely. The only problem I have is the fact that the goddamn characters are so unlikable. The characters that you want to root for, that you want to win in the end, become unlikable. But that almost serves the purpose of the movie, because who are you cheering for? You're cheering for the humans, right? Of course, because you are one. But at the end of the day, the humans are the ones who started this big fucking mess. And then they're all like, we're going to kill them all, kill all the bugs. So there's that. But listen, like Jessica said, it's a great, fun ride. That's why you should watch it. Watch it, have fun. You're going to laugh out loud like Robert De Niro in the movie theater in Cape Fear. I promise you will laugh if you go into it by slightly adjusting how you feel about the film. Okay? That's it. But before we go, we have one more message from the feds, and then we are out of here. All right? So you guys have a wonderful day, and we look forward to our next episode. Bye.
See ya.
What mysteries will the brain bug reveal? Federal scientists are working around the clock to probe its secrets. Once we understand the bug, we will defeat it. We have the ships. We have the weapons. We need soldiers. Soldiers like Lieutenant Stack Lumbrizer and Captain Carmen Ibanez. Soldiers like Private Ace Levy and Lieutenant John Rico. We need you all. Service guarantees citizenship.
Thanks again for tuning into another episode of the Science Fiction Film Podcast. Hey, look, if you really want to help us out, spread the word. Share an episode with a friend or a family member, especially if they're science fiction film fans. And don't forget to rate and review us over at iTunes and Stitcher. That really helps the show get noticed and helps us grow. Definitely check out the website, libertystreetgeek.net, and you can find all of our social media contact there, as well as our phone number. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the latest science fiction film podcast, and you may have actually just heard me on it with Dean, that is if it wasn't with the incomparable Jessica Vizina. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Matthew Anderson. I host a podcast called Unknown Words. On the show, I read you a story by an unpublished, usually totally unknown writer, and then I talk to them about the story and themselves, their life, aspirations, their love and hate relationship with writing. On some episodes, I speak with up-and-coming musicians about their music and play some of it for you. The show is also always open to story and music submissions. So again, the show is Unknown Words with Matthew Anderson. A new episode comes out every other Monday. I hope you'll check out the show and hear stories and music by writers and artists that you probably don't know about, but need to. So, I hope to hear from you. Until then, take care of yourself and don't give up.